Morning yogis, thanks for coming out, for joining me at Urban Yoga in the Park. I'm Tommy. I'm going to be guiding you through your practice this morning. Wonderful to see you guys. Today we're going to work through a sequence where we'll get into sort of exploring a lot of twist poses and twist variations today. Trying to make them either a little bit more intense or maybe a little less intense depending upon where you are this morning. So listen to your body, modify as needed, and really exploring the breath as we get into these twists. Some modifications that might just shift and make that breath feel a little bit different in some of these postures. So we'll get into that as well. We're going to begin seated, and go ahead and sit yourself up on a block, give yourself a little bit of length. So grab a block. You have a blanket as well. You can place that over the block, give a little bit of lift in those hips. Your hips are super tight, and you have a hard time sitting cross-legged. You might just say, hey, this feels a little bit more open in the hips. So legs can be out. That'll be a little less intense on those outer hips. Stack them up, sort of in a fire log pose as well. Morning, Cherry. And we'll just try to find that comfortable seat. Try to find a nice long spine and just a little rotation in the hips. So go ahead, sit up a little bit more straight. Hip points come up, tail sort of tucks down. You'll feel that rooting down through the tail and find some length in that crown. All right, just let the eyes close. Palms can be face up on the thighs, and face down, whatever feels natural. Let's just roll the shoulders up and back and let them slide down the back. Let the chest just broaden. And we'll just begin to tune into that breath as you take a nice, slow inhale. Just begin to draw that awareness into the body. Draw the breath into the belly, not trying to force anything here, just beginning to observe the flow and rhythm of breath. Begin to lengthen out that inhalation and exhalation to a count of 4 or 5, just whatever feels comfortable. And just beginning to draw the breath into parts of the body we don't normally pay attention to. A lot of sort of shallow breathers in the top portion of the chest, throat. So see if you can begin to draw that breath into the side ribs, the back side ribs, down into the kidneys. And just begin to lengthen out that breath. Each inhale, you grow a little bit taller in your seat. Crown of the head rises to the sky. On that exhale, just let the shoulders begin to melt away from the ears. Then feel that grounding sensation all the way down through your hips, contact point with your tail on the block. Then just begin to feel that spine come into alignment. Feel your heart begin to line up over your hips. Head line up over your heart. Beginning to find some extra space for that breath. And as you begin to tune into that rhythm of breath, let it be your guide throughout your practice this morning. Listen to it, stay with that breath. It'll let you know when you need to rest. Maybe if you want to push yourself a little further. That breath will also keep you grounded in this moment. You begin to think about things that are not on this mat, things you do today, didn't do yesterday. Connect back with that breath, bring you back to this present moment and keep you grounded into this practice. Begin to tune into that rhythm of breath a little bit more, just making that conscious transition from being the busy-minded doer to being the conscious observer. Notice what's coming up. Notice if you're holding any tension in the body. Check in with the face, uncrease the brow, unclench the jaw, soften the throat. Beginning to let anything go that doesn't have a place in this practice. One more deep breath in, find length. One more slow exhalation, find stability and ground. All right, so I can blink the eyes open. Good morning, everyone. Good to see you all. All right, let's begin to stretch out the neck. We'll go ahead and take the left ear over to the shoulder. We'll go ahead and take the left hand up and over, just a gentle nudge as we create create some length in that neck on the right side. And then reach the right fingertips out. Circle out through the wrist here. It's a gentle nudge you'll feel when you kind of find that nice happy stretch point. Base of the neck. Take the wrist both directions. Keep the breath moving. Go ahead and release. Take that to the other side. Take the neck up and over, ear to shoulder. Reach those fingertips out. Find some length. Stretch it out. Circle out to the wrist. Gaze can kind of start to go up over that shoulder just slightly. I'll intensify that stretch. Go ahead and let that go. From here, we're going to go ahead and roll the left shoulder back. Reach back so you can grab a hold of that wrist. And then gentle tug of that wrist down. And then go ahead and take the ear, the right ear, over to the shoulder. So you're going to feel that through the neck. Going to start to creep down through that shoulder, down into that wrist. Deep breath in. You find length in the spine. Exhale, stretch. Wrist down. Stay for one breath here. Go ahead and take that over to the second side. Release. Roll the shoulder back. Reach it back. Draw down of the wrist. Find some length in the spine. And then take the ear over to the shoulder. All right. One more breath here. Let all that go. Shake it out. All right. Inhale. Find some length. Lift up through the torso. Big deep breath in. On the exhale, we're going to squeeze and draw the elbows down the back, open through the chest, cactus arms. Squeeze the scapula together, almost like you're holding something in between the two. Nice deep breath in. On the exhale, just a gentle twist over to the left. Gaze goes last, so look over the shoulder. Nice deep breath in. Twist a little deeper on the exhale. Inhale, bring it back up to center. Big breath in, lengthen through the chest and torso. Exhale, cactus the arms one more time over the chest. Deep breath in. On every twist, we twist from the base of the spine up through the shoulders, and then that gaze goes left. Let's get more breath. One more breath, find length. Exhale, we twist a little deeper. And we'll go ahead and let all that go. But roll off the block, keep it close by. Then we'll come into a tabletop. You can also put a blanket there for your knees if you need electric padding. You have that grass in the park, which is great. So add as you need to. For tabletop, we have our shoulders lined up directly over the wrists. We've got our hips lined up over the knees. Go ahead and tap the tops of the feet. These are going to be our anchors here. Blood flowing through the legs. We're going to work through some cat-cow. So we're going to rock forward. We're going to lift up through the tail and drop the belly down. Press into the tops of the feet. So we have a nice curve in the spine. Gaze comes up. Take a nice deep inhale. On the exhale, we push the floor away. We rock the hips forward. We come into that cat pose. Stretching across the middle of the back. There's no space in between those shoulder blades. And then we just rock forward, move with the breath. Some nice spinal flexion. Curve in the spine, tails up. Inhale. Exhale, push the floor away. Gaze down and in. Inhale up. Move with your breath. Exhale, contract. Let's take a twist here. We'll go ahead and walk fingertips over to the left. Pull that right hip crease back. It's going to want to sort of follow along. So pull that right hip crease back, keeping those hips somewhat face towards the front of the mat. And then twisting back behind you, look over that left shoulder. Take a nice deep breath into the left rib cage. The right rib cage. Explore that breath. And then flow with this twist. One more long breath here. Exhale, we release. Take it back to center. Set yourself up. Wag the tail a little bit. Get yourself organized. Set that foundation. Inhale here. Exhale, walk the fingertips over to the right. Draw that left hip crease back and in. Gaze fall over that right shoulder. Explore the breath. Left side, right side. Inhale, we find space. And on the exhale, we contract and squeeze it all out. Breath. Back to center. Get yourself organized. Let's go ahead and bring that left hand towards the front of the face. And inhale that right arm up. Big breath into those side ribs. On the exhale, we're going to slide that arm underneath, thread through, drop down to the shoulder. You can bring that left hand either in front. You can also bring it across the back, give you a little bit more leverage to kind of start to open up the chest. A nice stretch here through the shoulder, the front of the chest. Always on that inhale and the twist, we kind of back off just a little bit. On the exhale, we twist a little deeper. Think of sort of filling up a sponge and then wringing that sponge out nice and slowly, gradually. Stay for another cycle of breath here. Take that left hand back in front of the face wherever you have it, place it down. Inhale that right arm back, up, breath. Set that back. Set the foundation. We'll take that to the other side, right hand into the face. Inhale, open up. Deep breath into the side ribs. Take your time. On the exhale, slide down into that transition. Drop down to the temple, the side of the shoulder. Options with that right hand in front. Cross the sacrum, open up. Hit one more cycle of breath here. Take that right hand back in front of the face. Now open up one more time. Here we're going to go ahead and walk the fingertips forward. We're going to drop down into a puppy. Kind of temple fingers. Here what we want to do is keep the hips drawn back. Drop down to the chest. Walk the fingertips, spread them out nice and wide. So you're getting a nice stretch through the pectoral muscles. Sink and melt that heart down as much as you can while the hips are drawing back towards those. Deep breath in right into the center of the back. Exhale, melt a little further in. Take one more cycle of breath here. Let it all go. Walk the hips back in. We're going to go ahead and tuck the toes under. Pop the hips up. And we're going to take it to our first downward dog. Downward dog, go ahead and look down at the toes. Place the big toes down and fan out all the rest of the toes. You have a nice wide face for the toes. You want an inverted V so your tail is coming up to the sky. Your come up onto the balls of your feet if you'd like. And then you're sort of melting your heart back towards your legs as you sink in and melt the heels down. That looks great. Check in with the arms. What you want to do is rotate the creases of the elbows forward to the mat. So you're rotating the elbows in. That's going to zip up sort of the center line of the body, a little bit more in towards the center. So your elbows aren't splaying out, but you're kind of zipping up and in. Stay here for a cycle of breath. This can be a resting pose as well. You can come back down to that tabletop, or child pose, always available. All right, let's inhale here. On the exhale, just begin to walk the toes towards the hands. Take time. We're going to inhale, halfway lift. So we're going to draw the palms up towards the shins. We're going to press the thighs back. We're going to reach forward with the crown of the head. So reaching with the crown back is nice and flat. Inhale, find length. And then exhale, fold yourself down. Bend the knees. Straighten the legs. Go ahead and grab for opposite elbow. Draw the elbows down towards the earth. Find some length in that spine. Let the head just be heavy. Shake your head yes or no. Just release any tension you're holding in the neck. Tension you're holding in the face or jaw, just let it go. Go ahead and release here. Inhale, we're going to begin to draw the energy up through the legs. Begin to roll up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Nice, slow inhalation. When you get halfway, roll the shoulders up and back. Find some space. Big inhale as you lift up. Hips come slightly forward, so just a little gentle back bend here. And exhale, draw the palms down into the heart center. Nestle with thumbs against the sternum here. Broaden through the clavicles. And just close the eyes here for a moment. Tadasana, mountain pose. So some slight cues here in mountain pose. Rooting down through those toes, they're spread nice and wide. Just a little bit of a draw up and into the kneecaps. Little slight tuck in of those lower ribs so they sort of plug into your hip points and keep that belly nice and toned, firm, but the breath is moving. And then a nice long spine, feel that rise through the crown. Feel that grounding through the heels. Feel that breath flowing between these two opposing forces. Try to keep this sensation going in any pose we're in today. What's rooting, what's reaching, and where is that breath? All right, just inhale, arms up. Gentle back bend here. On the exhale, hinge forward at the hips, take it all the way down. Inhale, halfway, Ardha Uttanasana, flatten out the back, thighs back, crown forward. Nice flat spine. All right, let's go ahead and reach for a block. Keep that right in front of the face. We're going to take the right hand to the block. We're going to keep the right knee bent. And we're going to straighten out through the opposite leg. So we have the hand down, right hand, left leg straight. Then we're going to inhale and open up. So you're going to feel that stretch up through that left leg, up through the IT band, up into that left hip. Great for sciatica. After a long run, hike. Stacking shoulders, breathing. Take another breath. On the exhale, go ahead and bend knees. We'll release. Back to center. We'll take that to the other side. Left hand down. Straighten out through the right knee. Bend through the left. Inhale. Stack shoulders. Open up. Feel that stretch go up into that right hip. Stay for another cycle of breath. Exhale, release, bend the knees. Walk back in front of you. We're gonna come into chair pose in Tadasana. Thighs together, knees squeezed together like you're holding a block. Drop down through the tail, we're gonna open up through the chest. So sit back into your chair. Feel this in the quads, the thighs. Deep breath in, palms together in front of you. We're gonna draw the bow back across the chest, take a little bit of a twist. The knees are gonna wanna open up, so try to keep the knees squeezed together and forward as much as you can. Big breath in. Inhale back to center. Other side, draw the bow back across the chest. Gaze can follow, squeeze the knees towards the front. Stay for a breath. Inhale back to center. Palms in, root to rise up. Shake it out, let that go. All right, palms back to center. Root down into the left heel. We're going to begin to draw the right knee up and in. So you come up to the toe. You can be right here. Okay, so it's not about getting it all the way up and in. You're kind of squeezing that knee up into the chest. Push the palms together. You're drawing all that energy into that center line of the body. Belly slightly engaged here, but the breath is moving. If you fall out of it, just come back into it. Maybe inhale the arms up overhead if you like. Deep breath in. On the exhale, we're going to take that left hand across the right knee. Roll the back shoulder back. Maybe it slides back along the sacrum. Drawing that right knee in. Maybe you want to add the arms. What's rooting? What's reaching? Where is that breath? Inhale back up. Let it go. Shake it out. It's a puppy. All right, second side, guys. Spread the toes nice and wide. Nice foundation. Palms together. Sit those lower ribs down and in. Inhale, begin to draw the leg up and in. Maybe you're here today. Maybe you're down here. You can be on a block. Lots of different options. Want to come along. Inhale the arms up overhead. Find length in that torso. Inhale here. Exhale, moving slowly. Left hand across the knee. Slide the right hand across the knee. Left hand across the back. Squeeze and draw that knee in. Maybe you want to extend the arms out. You fall out. Maybe you get back in. Stay here for a breath. Back up. And let it all go. All right, shake it all out. Wonderful. All right, let's get flowing. Inhale up to right. Exhale, keep it full. Inhale, hop and lift, crown forward, thighs back, flatten out the spine. Exhale, fold down. All right, we're going to come into a low lunge. We're going to keep the left foot forward. We're going to step the right leg back. Take your time to set your foundation up. Untuck the back toe. Kind of wiggle that back foot back a little bit. You want to find some length in that back thigh. Go ahead and wiggle that right or left foot forward. And you want that ankle lined up right underneath that knee. Then begin to bring the chest up. So the tail's dropping down. Chest is coming up. Crown of the head up. Root down. Bring the palms here to the thigh. Plug the chest. Maybe the arms come up and overhead. Also have your blocks alongside if you like. That's difficult. You have blocks alongside as well. Lots of different variations. All right, let's take a twist here. Inhale, find length in that torso. On the exhale, we're going to take that right hand across the thigh. Roll the other shoulder back. and go across the sacrum, open through the chest. You're twisting from the base of the spine up through the shoulders, and then that gaze goes last. And then explore that breath in the twist. Inhale, you kind of back off, find length. Exhale, twist a little bit deeper, find contraction. Stay for another breath. And we'll release it. Inhale the arms up overhead. On the exhale, fingertips come down. We're going to tuck the back toes. We're going to straighten it out through the front legs. Pop up the toe, pitch the heel forward. We're kind of coming into a half split. Blocks available as well. You want to have those alongside, a little bit more stability. We're dropping the hips back, reaching the crown up, and then begin to descend. So you're getting a nice hamstring stretch here on that left side, stretching into that left hip. Want to add on a little bit, maybe twisting by taking that right hand across the outer edge of that foot, sink it a little bit deeper. Now it'll be more intense on that outer. Make sure we're breathing. Stay for a cycle of breath. And begin to walk yourself forward, bend back to the knee, untuck the toe. Come back up here into another low lunge. Inhale, find length in that torso. Exhale, we're going to take that high twist again. This time, if you want to add on a little bit, drop that left hand down the back of the thigh. Maybe the right arm comes up and over, and take a little bit of a gentle back bend. Nice deep breath into the right rib cage here. Gaze can come up if you'd like. If that's too intense, you can be in that high twist we just did first time through. All right, stay for a breath. On the exhale, we're going to release. We're going to take that right hand across the thigh and begin to draw the elbow down. Bring palms together. We're going to use that leverage to twist a little deeper and open up through the chest. Check in with the breath. One more cycle here. Legs are shaking a little. That's good. Right. Go ahead and release. Take the palms down to the ground. Pop the back knee up. Step back into a plank pose. Plank, belly's drawn up and in. We're pressing out through the heels as we reach forward with the crown. Push up and out of those shoulders so there's almost no space between the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Elbow creases rotate towards the front of the mat. Come up onto the balls of the feet, lift up through the tail on the inhale. On that exhale, melt down through the heels. Sink in a little further. Inhale here. Exhale, step, hop, or float yourself forward. Inhale halfway, move with the breath. And exhale, fold down. Inhale, roll up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Arms come along. Gentle back bend. Slide palms down towards the center. Close the eyes for a moment. Just let some of that energy settle in the body. Notice maybe how one side feels a little different than other through the hips, the abdomen, belly. Inhale, arms up, second side. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Step back with the left leg. We're going to take a low lunge, second side. Set the foundation. Right knee over right ankle. Lengthen out to that back thigh. Quad. Blocks. Down through the tail, up through the front. Inhale, arms up overhead. Lengthen that torso. Exhale. Twist it back. Roll the back shoulder back. Slide it alongside the sacrum. That's a little added leverage. Stay for cycle of breath here. Exhale, lift arms back up. And exhale down. Tuck the back toes. Pop the front knee up. Toes up. I'm going to lengthen out through that front leg, so begin to draw the hips back towards the heel. Find some length in your crown, and then exhale, begin to draw the gaze down. One a little deeper, reach across, grab a hold of that outside of the foot, body stretch. On the exhale, let's release. Tuck the toe, walk it back forward, set that foundation. Inhale to rise. Find some length in the torso. Exhale, high twist again. Turn if you want to add on, slide that palm down the back side. Take that gentle back bend, gaze up. Nice big breath into the left side. Right thigh or right knee can still start to splay open. Squeeze that back into the center. Up and out. Go ahead and slide that elbow across the outside of that thigh. Bring palms together first, and then press into the palms and open up to the shoulder. Gaze back over that right shoulder. Squat some bugs. Squat some bugs. One more breath here. Okay. Come out of it. Palms down. Step the left or right leg back. Let's take a child's pose. Bring toes to touch. You're going to walk the fingertips forward and sink the hips back towards you. That's a little too intense. Also fold a blanket, roll a blanket, put that between the thighs, or the heels and the bump. That'll give you a little extra lift here. And begin to sink down and melt down. If that's a little too intense on the hips, you can also bring the thighs together. Small child's pose. So this is our resting pose. You can take this at any point throughout our practice. Breath starts going a little crazy. You need to just reconnect, find some rhythm. Take a moment, reconnect, and stay with that breath. Start that heartbeat, settle into the chest. Nice, deep, full breath. All right, go ahead and bring yourself back up and out. Tuck the toes, push it back, downward dog. All right, let's get moving a little bit more here. Inhale, left leg up and back, press out through that heel. Big inhale here. On the exhale, we're going to draw the knee in towards the nose. We're going to place that foot forward. And we're going to come into a crescent lunge. The feet are about hip distance apart, or shoulder width apart. That back heel popped up. You're going to draw the energy up into the torso. Bend the back knee, kind of sink into that lunge. Press out through the heel, draw that back kneecap up and in so we're nice and stable. Sinking into that front knee. Down through the tail, up through the crown. Inhale the arms up. Palms to heart center. Lean forward here. We're going to take that arm across, or the elbow across. Press those palms together to take that twist. Options here. Also bring a block along if that's a little too intense. Extend the arms up and out. That feels good. Are you breathing? Stay for a breath. On the exhale, release it. Palms down onto the blocks. We're going to set ourselves up for pyramid pose. Step the back foot in, so both feet are facing forward now. And drop down through that back heel. So shorten up the stance as much as you need to, and you're straightening out through that front leg. Blocks alongside, hips are drawing back. Options with the arms. Grab for opposite elbow or forearms, elbows. Go reverse prayer position. What we're trying to do here is find some length in that spine. Through the crown. Inhale and then exhale, begin to fold over that front leg. So you should be getting a nice hamstring stretch here. Blocks are going to be your best friend here. Feel that stretch on the outer left hip. Obviously, the further down you go, the more intense that stretch. All right, one more breath. We're going to bend into that front knee. We're going to root down into those toes. We're going to pop that back leg up, coming into a standing split. Blocks can come out in front. Head down toward the knee. The right hip's going to want to roll open, so roll that right hip crease down toward the mat. You can have a bend in that front knee. You don't need to be hyperextending. A bend in that front knee. Wait for a breath. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, down the knee. Inhale, back up to chair pose. Palms forward, draw the bow back. Move with the breath. Back to center. Inhale to open. Exhale, back to center. Exhale, fold down knee. Step all the way back to plank. Stay for a breath. Push up out of those shoulders, belly in. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg up and back. Press out through the heel. Big breath here. Exhale, knee to nose. Place the foot down. Taking that crescent lunge, second side. Blocks handy as you need them. Kind of using to work your way up as you need to. Bend into that back knee. Sink into the lunge. Firm up that back knee by pressing up. Tail down, crown up. Palms to heart center. Reach the crown forward. Take the twist. Back to center. Palms down to the blocks. Step it in. We're going to take that pyramid pose second side. Set yourself up. Make sure you're not on a tightrope here. We don't want to be all the feet in one line. That's going to be a lot harder. So a little bit of space in between those legs. Draw those hips back. Reach the crown forward. Exhale. On that right hip crease back. Deep breath here. Go ahead and bend that front knee. Walk the blocks a little bit forward if you have them along. Pop that leg up. Standing splits. Drop the head down towards the knee. Bend through the front leg. Find your balance. Find your edge. Take your time, coming up and out of it. Place the hands down, step all the way back to plank pose. Inhale here. Exhale, let the knees come down. Lower the chest, keep the elbows squeezed in as you lower all the way to the belt. Rock the hips back and forth. We're going to lengthen out through the tops of the thighs. So reach the toes back on the mat. Find some length here. Come into the Sphinx Pose. Taking the elbows underneath the shoulders. Rock the hips a little more side to side. Find some more length in those legs. So here we want to be active. We want to press into the mat with the fingers and draw the heart space through the shoulders. A little draw up and in of the belly. You're going to start to feel that low back engage and fire up. We don't spend enough time on our low backs. We don't really pay attention to them until they're really hurting. So we need to work out that low back just as much as we need to work out that six pack, right, Johnny?
Okay.
All right. Feel that low back engage. Explore the breath. Deep breath into the low back. Inhale here. Exhale, look over the left shoulder. Deep breath in here to the right side ribs. Inhale, back to center. Exhale over the right shoulder. Feel how that little twist changes that flow of breath. Back to center. Slide the palms underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up the toes, back to our downward facing dog. All right. Nice deep breath in here. On the exhale, step off the float forward. Inhale halfway. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, reach your rise. Take your time. Roll the shoulders up. Open, lift up, hips forward, gentle back bend. Arms back down. Just let the fingertips fall to the ground. Close the eyes here for a moment. Reconnect with that rhythm of breath. Notice how you feel. Let that energy settle into the corners of the body we don't normally pay attention to. All right, let's kind of keep on with some of this twist. We'll start to cool things down. Go ahead and grab 2 blocks if you have them. We're gonna go into Namaste pose. If your hips are super tight, I highly recommend having blocks available for you. Inhale to rise up. Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Thanks for joining us. Hey. All right, we're gonna inhale, arms up. Big breath. Find some length in that torso. Exhale, hinge and forward now. All right, we're gonna heel toe, feet out to the edges. Toes are gonna be out, heels are gonna be in. We're gonna begin to drop down through that tail. Find some contact with that block. Maybe you don't need the blocks. Your hips are gonna let you know if you need it. Maybe it's 1 block, maybe it's 2. I don't know if 3 would work. You'd kind of be in a funky spot. Nonetheless, tail is tucked and we want to open through the chest. So we're not rounding through the shoulders, rounding through the back. We're trying to crack this open. Heels in, hips are open. Keep the elbows in there if you want. You can also just use kind of the forearms here to open the hips. Should be a little bit of a restful spot, but also really, really nice open. Take a nice breath into the pelvis, chest. Let's open up here. Either just keep the forearm on the inside or the elbow. And then go ahead and draw the bow across the chest, open up through the chest. So hip opener, chest opener. Nice big breath into the ribs. Circle out the wrist. Back to center. Set yourself up. Second side. Wrist open. Get a little different view of the part. Deep breath into the back, kidney. Again, inhaling, kind of letting off that twist a little bit, feel up, On the exhale, twist a little bit deeper, kind of wringing out that sponge nice and gently. Time check. Back to center. Palms down to the ground. Heel toe it back in. Move your blocks. Inhale halfway. Lift back forward. Tighten the sleep. And exhale, melt down. Place the palms down. Step all the way back into our plank pose. Push it back to downward facing dog. All right, we're gonna come into a pigeon series. If your hips are super tight and you hate pigeon, come onto your back and I'm gonna show you a modification. Otherwise, we're gonna take the left leg up and back, press out through the heel. Big inhale here. And Leo, I can come over and help you out in a minute if you need it. Okay. On the exhale, we're gonna draw the elbow in and then we're gonna place the thigh or the foot across perpendicular. Reach back and lengthen out through the back thigh. This is super intense on that left hip. Grab yourself a blanket, a block, and you can place it underneath that. So this is going to be pretty intense on that hip. If that's way too intense, feeling pinching there, back out. Grab a feel better? Yeah. All right. There you go. Use those props. All right, we're in that pigeon. Let's stay up nice and high here. That might be plenty. Otherwise, begin to walk it out. Now, if you want to come along and your hips are super open, you can thread the needle through and take it into a twisted pigeon. That's going to be pretty intense for most people. But otherwise, you can walk forward, drop the elbows. You can drop the gaze down, put your head on a block here. Make sure it feels good. If you're feeling any super pinching into that hip, please back out of it immediately. Figure 4 on the back. Love it. Modification. Keep that breath moving. Yeah, that twist is kind of fun and funky. It's like, oh, that's a whole nother level. All right, wherever you are, stay for a cycle of breath. It's really important. A lot of injuries can happen when you're coming out of poses, so we want to be very mindful here. If you're low and you're sunk down, if you're twisted, begin to come out of it. If you're low, begin to walk the fingertips back, come back up. The way to get out of this is tuck the back toes, pop the knee up, push the floor away so you have some space, and then slide that leg out. You can kind of bend that left knee, stack the hip if you want, circle it out, get some blood flow going back a little bit. Place it back down. We're going to do that same thing on the other side. All right, set yourself up. Right leg up and back. Inhale here. Exhale, draw the right knee to the right elbow. Then place the foot across as much perpendicular and lengthen out the back thigh before you start sinking down. So you want to find some length. Begin to sink down. You got your blanket. There you go, man. Looking good. You're a pro, see? Stay up nice and high. Get a little bit of a low back bend here going. So pigeon's great. You can really get what you want out of it. If you want a little bit more low back, you want a little bit more intensity on the hips. You want to try that twist and slide down onto that shoulder. Lots of variations and options. Keep the breath moving. Nice deep breath in. Been in this passive pose when we come down into these holds, longer holds. What's rooting, what's reaching, and where's that breath? Another full cycle of breath here. See if you can draw that exhale out maybe a second or two longer than the inhale. That'll just give you a little bit more space on that next inhale to fill up. Right. Again, work our way out of it, nice and slow. If you're low, walk back in. Palms nice and firm on the mat. Tuck those back toes and pull up to the knee. Push the floor away, slide the leg out. Anything you want to do with that right hip. Push back down dog. Stay for one more. On the exhale, walk your feet towards the hands. We're going to come all the way down onto the mat. Wonderful. All right. All right. Bring your blanket along if you have it. So we're using forward folds and stretches. Really great when you're working through forward folds. Have that blanket just right on the tail. So your hips are kind of in front of it. What we're trying to do here is get in front of those sit bones. If we're sitting back on our tail, we're trying to fold forward. We are going nowhere. So we're kind of rocking the hips side to side, getting in front of those glutes so that we have a chance to get that torso down towards the belly. And a blanket just gives you a little bit extra. All right, wonderful. Go ahead and press out through the heels, draw the toes back towards you. That's going to protect the knees. Keep the thighs drawn in, thighs down towards the ground. You can have a bend in the knees if you like. We're going to inhale, we're going to find length in that torso. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, reach forward, hinge at the hips, begin to draw the gaze down again. Before you fully commit, maybe rock back and forth on those hips. You can find an eighth of an inch. Not about getting your hands to your toes. They can be on your thighs. Really about just finding some length in the back, length in the legs here. Same thing that we were doing forward fold when we were standing. Just a little different situation. Stay for another breath. Deep breath into the center of the back. Exhale a little deeper. Inhale, walk through your hips back. Start to bring yourself back up. All right, we're going to go ahead and take that right leg. We're going to bend there. We're going to take underneath, and you can sort of grab a hold of that baby you got. You can go up and under. Grab around the ankle. You can just hold it. Get to know it. Give a little rock side to side. Feel that on that outer hip crease. Keep that front left foot flexed. Talk to it, Johnny. You're just cute. All right. Couple more breaths here. Just getting that hip crease open. It should feel pretty good from that pigeon series. All right. Options here. We can place it to the inside. We can take it over. Okay. So you'll know if it's too far one way or the other. So if you want to cross it over, kind of keep that knee drawn in. We're going to inhale, find length in that spine. Big breath. On the exhale, we're going to take an open twist. So we're going to take that right elbow inside of that. Use that as leverage. Roll the back shoulder back. Sit up nice and tall on the inhale. On the exhale, gaze over that right shoulder. The left shoulder. Open twist. Open through the chest. Should be pretty easy to get that breath into the belly. Stay for one more round. All right, begin to release. If you have the foot over the edge of the leg, drag the other heel in. So you keep the leg here, you can be here, modify and listen to your body. All right. So left leg long. Otherwise, take it in. Now we're stacked up. Inhale, find length. Twist from the base of the spine. We're going close twist now. So we're going to reach around that leg, knee, squeeze it in, roll the back shoulder back, find length in the spine, sit up nice and tall. Big breath in. Exhale, begin to twist and squeeze and pull that inner thigh in towards the ribs. Squeezing out that sponge, letting go of anything holding on to physically, emotionally. One more breath here. Unwind yourself. Both legs long. Shake them out. All right, set aside. Go ahead and bend that way. Rock the baby. Oh, I forgot to do our parent pose. All right, rock the baby. Talk to it. Cradle it. Working into that left crease. All right, and then options, right? Go over the top of the thigh, inside of the thigh, whatever you like. You'll find some length. Exhale, we open twist. Bring that elbow to the inside, open up to the chest. Roll the back shoulders back, find length, sit up nice and tall. Twist a little deeper. For a cycle of breath. Step front foot active. Toes is drawn back, pressing out to the heel. Unwind. Options. Pull the other heel in. Pack everything a little bit more, otherwise keep it long. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, close. Opposite direction. Inhale, find length. Exhale, contract. Squeeze out the sun. Keep that breath flowing. Slowly begin to unwind. This is what I forgot on the first side. We'll take a heron pose if you'd like. Go ahead and press out through the heel. If you can't get a hold of your foot, grab for the back of the thigh. Press it out. Back to the calf. Everything feels good. Edge of the foot. Toe, finger. Big toe with the piece finger. Find length. Maybe you want to move on that. Maybe not. Back to center if you're twisted. Let it go. All right, we skipped that second side, so we got to do it again. All right, so we're going right leg out, left leg over, heel in. Is that right, Johnny? No. Okay. The opposite way you said. Right, left heel in for you guys. Sorry. Extend the right leg. That's all right. Hard to cue and mirror at the same time. Press out through the heel. Open up through the chest. And sit back on that tail a little bit here. Maybe you want to add on twist back. Always good to have a couple of yoga teachers here to get you back on track. And you lose it. All right, wherever you are, stay for one more. And let that go. All right, guys. Go ahead and draw the heels in towards each other. One more hip opener. Should feel nice and open at this point. Draw the heels in towards the pelvis as much as feels good. You can grab for the ankles. You can grab for big toes. These fingers. You want to open up through the chest. So roll the shoulders up and back. Use that to kind of rock the hips a little bit. Kind of rock up. Straighten up through the spine. Nice deep inhale here. Stay here if you like. Maybe you begin to walk fingertips forward. Maybe you got a block there for the head. Your hips are going to let you know when you've gone too far one way or the other. Use those props. Bring the earth up towards you. You can also have those on the outer edges. Really nice support here on the outer knees. So it's not as intense on the Modify as you need to. Take what you like, leave what you don't. Wow, time really got away from me, as it usually does. Which is fine, because normally I end everything on your back, and all the bugs are like kind of hanging out right here, so we'll just end in a seated position. All right, walk it back in. We'll go ahead and take the legs out long, shake it all out. All right, we'll end in a comfortable seat, Sukhasana, so kind of where we started. If you really like that sitting up on a block, because it gives you a little bit more opening those hips, go ahead and use that. Have a blanket, otherwise just have a comfortable seat. Just begin to let everything begin to sort of slow down. Just going back to that observation, right? We're always that busy-minded doer. Got to get this done, got to do this, didn't do that. Being judgmental. In this practice, we leave all the judgment off the mat. Take it for what it is, where we are in this moment. Not trying to change anything or force it. Sit up nice and tall in your seat. Feel that alignment again with the heart over hips, head over heart. Long spine. Feel that crown of the head, almost like you're being pulled up to the sky with a little string. Feel that grounding, stability through the tail, earth supports and holds you up. Feel that rhythm of breath, that life force cycle between these two. This is the union, this is the yoga. Just let everything begin to settle in the body. Body scan. Are you holding any tension anywhere? Soften that throat, clavicle, the wiggle of the jaw side to side. Just let the eyes soften in the softness. Let the belly be soft. And practice enjoying the benefits of our practice. Just observing this peaceful state, stillness. Tune into the sensations of the moment. Temperature on your skin, even the bugs around you, the sounds. Be here for a few final moments before you go back to your busy life. Allow me to call you back. Gently begin to deepen the breath. Welcome subtle sensations back into the body by raise the eyebrows or moisten the lips, wiggle fingers and toes. Take a nice full body stretch by taking the fingertips up overhead. Bring the fingertips together, and we'll go ahead and interlace the fingertips together, pointer fingers up, find some length in that spine. Nice deep inhale here. Maybe the gaze comes up. Then exhale, draw this energy down into the heart space. Bring the chin towards the chest. Close the eyes one more final time. Take a moment, thank yourself. Rolling out of bed onto the mat, that can be the hardest part of your practice sometimes. Thank yourself for self-love, compassion, care, exploration. I'd like to thank you all for coming today and letting me guide you through your practice. end our practice with Namaste, which means the light in me honors the divine light in each and every one of you. Thank you. Wonderful. Hope to see you all again. Acknowledge your fellow yogis. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful day.